Guys and girls, good evening from NYChessKids. I am back with a 33E study, Checkmate in One. This is from our book that I created probably 10 years ago. And those are the last those are the last 40 puzzles that we have to finish. So this is a puzzle 161 in your book. So let's see how do we checkmate the king here. We have a queen on h4, rook on f6, and knight on e6. Those are the three pieces can help us. There is only one check, right? So rook to f8 is a checkmate. Let's go to 162. What do I see here? We have a queen, right? Queen is important. Knight can help for the attack. We also have those pawns, right? They can help in some situations for the attack. Right now we don't need them, but in some other games, right? For sure. So what can we do here to checkmate? What is the correct move? Knight e6 or queen to e6? Which one do you like? The correct move is queen to e6. Checkmate. King cannot run away, right? Again, blocked with his own pieces. Let's go to 163. We have a knight here. Immediately I see this rook cutting off the black king. And then we have a pawn on g6. So how do we checkmate here? I am going to give you two choices. One is a rook f7 check or a rook b8 check. Which one is a checkmate? The correct answer is rook to b8. Black king cannot go to e7, cannot go to g7 because this great knight on f5, and it cannot move to f7 because the pawn on g6. Let's go to the next one. Immediately I see this queen. Two bishops. This bishop very important. The bishop here pinning the knight. This rook pinning the knight. Those are the pieces I see. Also, look, when you attack the king, you have to think about those two pawns. They are important, right? Now we have a checkmate in one move. So which one is correct? Queen f7 check or bishop to e7 check? Correct move is queen to f7 checkmate. Let's go to 165. This is from a famous game that Paul Morphy played. We actually have this game in our study with the best games of Paul Morphy. So king is on f7, and now we have to make a checkmate. Pay attention to the knight on g6. That's an important piece. Bishop is important piece, working on this diagonal, and then you have a rook, also very important piece. So how do we checkmate the king here? The correct move is knight to h8. Look at this position. It's so unusual, right? To have a knight on h8 checkmating the king on f7. Let's see, 166. We have two pawns here. I see them right away because king cannot escape. Then we have the queen on d7, bishop on e4. We just have to find a correct check. This one is not easy. Again, remember, I told you in a previous 33D, you have to pay attention to the king. Like, where do you see right now that king can move to? There is no space. Look, queen is blocking him. The bishop is blocking him diagonal. So we just have to play a check. And in this case, correct move is pawn to c5. checkmate. Pay attention, there is no place for a black king. Now, I know many of you were probably thinking about queen c6 or queen b5, but that's not a checkmate because king can go to a7 or c7. So this is correct move, c5 checkmate. Let's go to 167. Mess on the board, right? That's why you need to learn to explain yourself what's happening. Right now, I see the queen. This queen is blocking the king. Then I see those two pawns in the center of the board. I also see the bishop on c5. The rook on d1 can help us for the attack. So we have to find the check. Okay, correct move is pawn to d5. Now look, knight is not allowed to capture the pawn because there is a pin, right? Queen is pinning the knight, checkmate. Pay attention to this king. King cannot move. And pay attention how all those pieces are important for checkmate. The pawns are important, and the bishop, and the rook, and the queen, right? All of them working together. Again, this is called in chess coordination of the chess pieces. And coordination is very important for a chess game. So let's see the next one. 168. What do we have here? King in the center of the board, surrounded by the queen. Rook can join the attack. Knight on e3, excellent, protecting f5. Pawn on f4, blocking the king. So we just have to find a good check. There are so many of them. And actually, today we had a chess tournament online, and I'm looking at the games, and kids have checkmates in one, and they are missing them. They don't see them, right? That's why it's important to practice this. Look, rook h6 is the correct move. I could play so many different checks. I can play queen h6. I can play knight g4. I can play queen f5. There are so many of them. But if you learn to stop and to think, you actually will save a time, win the game faster, right? Rook h6, checkmate. Let's see the next one. What do we have here? Rook. I see the rook immediately, like blocking the king. Two knights protecting each other, right? But what piece can do a check? That's the question. Rook can go to g5, but that's not good because pawn can take us. So pawn to g4, checkmate. Look at this. King cannot go to h4 because the knight on f5, there's nothing king can do. Let's go to 170. What do we have here? Queen, right? King is here trapped on the last rank. We have a queen. We have a rook, right? We also have a knight. So what can we do with those three pieces here? Checkmate in one move. Okay, I'm going to give you a choice. Rook to e8, check. Or queen to e7, check. Which one is a checkmate? Correct move, queen to e7. Because if you go to rook e8, the rook can take you. So we go queen e7, checkmate. Let's go to 171. Right away, I see those two knights. Look at them. They surrounded the king. I also have a rook pinning the knight, right? So do you see the checkmate? There is only one, one good check. There's another one that is bad. This one is bad, right? Because pawn can take you. But knight b6 is the correct move. Checkmate. King cannot escape. 172. I have a rook attacking the black king. I have a queen, right? Look at us. Down there, the rook. King cannot run away. Pawn is very important. So what do we do here? Checkmate in one move. Correct move, rook to e6. Right? Let's go to 173. What do we have here? queen on c6, knight on d4. That piece can help me. Then I see the bishop, right? Can the bishop help me? Not really, because it's blocked, right? So checkmate in one move. I give you a choice of queen e6 or queen b7. Which one is correct? Correct move is queen e6. Knight is protecting the queen and the king cannot run away. 174. Rook on g7, pawn on b7, rook on a6. Right? We have a pawn on g4, g2 that can help us. Right? So what do we do here? All those pieces are working together. Okay, the choice is rook takes on f6 or pawn to g4. Which one is correct? The correct move is pawn to g4. Check. Look at this. Rook is protecting the pawn, so king cannot capture and cannot go to g5 or g6 because the rook, right? And it cannot go to e6 because rook on a6. Cannot go to e5 because the pawn on d4. See, all those pieces working together. Let's go to 175. So I have a rook here, right? I can see that. And now, of course, I see those pieces immediately around the king. Knight on g6 and bishop on h7. So king cannot go to g8. That's very important. And cannot go to f8 because the knight here. So what's the correct move? Check rook e7 or knight h8. If you played rook e7, that's right. Checkmate. 176. So we have here queen on g7, bishop on g5, and knight on e4. So we have to figure out where is the checkmate here. Correct move is knight to d6. Checkmate. See, sometimes if you don't find the checkmates immediately, if you do like a wrong move, then look, queen d1 here would be a checkmate for black. So that's why sometimes you really have to find the checkmates immediately. Let's go to the next one. We have a knight on f5. We have a rook on e8. We also have a bishop on b2. Don't forget that one. Right? Checkmate. How do we checkmate here? The correct move is knight to h6. Because the bishop is blocking the king, king cannot escape, knight is checking the king. But without the rook on e8, this would not be a checkmate because rook is pinning the bishop and bishop cannot escape. That's why it is checkmate, right? Let's go to 178. We have a rook on a4 and a rook on f7. This rook is blocking the king, right? So what's correct move? Rook a8 check or rook c4 check? The correct move is rook to a8. Checkmate, right? 179. We have knight on d5, rook on d3. Right? Can that help us? Not really. And queen on h6. Of course, queen can help us. So we need to play correct check here. And the correct check is, I'll give you two choices. Knight e7 or knight f6. Which one? Only one is right. Knight e7 is checkmate. Because if you go to f6, black queen can capture your knight. Knight e7, checkmate. Okay, let's go to 180. We have here queen and the rook lined up, right? And we also have a knight. But if the knight jumps like somewhere like f5 or g4, it can be captured. So that's not good, right? So rook h7 is checkmate. Right? Let's go to 181. We have a rook on f3, queen on f7, surrounding the king. So I'm going to give you two choices. Rook h3 check and queen h5 check. Which one is a checkmate? If you found rook h3, that's correct, right? Let's go to 182. So we have a queen on h5 attacking. We also have a bishop on d3 and the knight on c7, right? The knight is too far away from the king. So in this case, we just need queen and the bishop. Try to find a checkmate. Okay. You have several checks here. Look, we could play queen h7 check. We can play bishop to c4 check. Or we can play bishop to h7 check. Which one is correct? Correct move is bishop to h7. Queen is protecting the bishop and king cannot escape to f7 because the queen on h5. Let's go to 183. We have a rook on g3, a rook on h1. Pay attention how many pieces black has. Even a queen, right? So what is a checkmate here? I'll give you a hint. The rook on h1 is going to do a checkmate. Okay? Hopefully you have enough time here. King g2, checkmate. Right? King g2. King is trapped. Let's go to 184. I see the queen here. Pawn. Look at this pawn. Then I have a rook on f1 and a bishop on h3. Don't forget this piece. Right? So let's see. So many choices. Okay. What do you think? What's the checkmate? Taking a queen. Capturing a bishop, taking a queen. Rook f8. Queen e6. Or bishop e6. Which one is correct? Only one. Correct move is bishop to e6. Checkmate. Let's go to 185. We have a rook on e1, bishop on f6, bishop on b5. Those are the three pieces helping us right now. Pay attention how this bishop trapped the king. King cannot escape. So the correct move is rook e8. This one should be easy. Rook e8, checkmate. Bishop protects the rook. 186. We had this one before. Rook on a7, blocking the king. So knight gets into the game, checkmate, right? Let's see 187. I see right away queen and the bishop here. The rook is blocked, not protecting the back rank. So checkmate with a queen, queen f8. 188. Let's do it. We still have 12 puzzles to finish. We have a rook on e8, knight on g5, bishop on h6. King cannot escape, right? Because the knight is here. Excellent, right? So checkmate is rook f8. If you take, king cannot escape. Let's do 198. Look at this pin. Pay attention to the pin. So if we push this pawn forward, we take a queen or a rook. Both of them are going to be checkmate. All right, checkmate. Let's see 190. I see the pin here. I see the bishop doing something to the king. King cannot escape. Also, don't forget about the queen. So what do we do? Pay attention. Pin, queen, and this bishop. Those are the pieces that can help us. Checkmate is queen to g5, right? So that's correct move. Let's go to 191. So what do we have here? We have queen around the king, right? We also have a knight on f7 and the bishop on a3. The rook on e1 can join the attack as well. So what do you see here? Okay, I'll give you a choice. Rook c1, check, or bishop to d6, check. Which one is correct? Correct move, bishop to d6. Knight is protecting the bishop. King cannot go to b8. King cannot go to d7 because the queen cannot go to d8 because the knight. Checkmate, right? So the rook c1 was not correct because the king could run away to b8. Okay, let's go to 192. Again, right away I can see this like happening on the last rank. Right? But pay attention also the bishop is attacking the rook. So what do we do here? We have to find the right move, because if you don't find the right move, then black can checkmate the white king. Rook h1, checkmate. So correct move, bishop to b7, checkmate. This is the only correct one. Right, we put the bishop on b7. We are blocking the rooks. Pay attention, the rook on b6 cannot move to b8 because we blocked it. Now check. And there is no way that king can escape. Let's go to 193. We have a queen on h7. We have a bishop on g8, knight on g5, and a pawn on d4 is very important, right? Because king cannot go to e5. Also, what's very important that you recognize a pin here. The rook is pinning the pawn on f5. So what's the checkmate here? Okay, this one is not easy, right? So I'm going to give you a choice. You can play queen h8. You can play knight e4. Or, let me see, is there any other move that we can play here with a check? Yeah, not really. So those are the options. Okay, the correct move here is knight e4, checkmate. Now pay attention. The pawn cannot take the knight because a rook is pinning the pawn, and there is no place for a king to move. Checkmate. 194. Immediately I can see the queen and the rook lined up, and I guess this should be an easy one. Queen d8, checkmate. 195. Knight on g5. King cannot escape to h7. Very important, right? And then we have a rook on e1. So this should be easy, right? Rook to e8, checkmate. 196. Again, rook and the bishop. We just have to find correct move for a bishop, right? We have to discover the rook and make a check. And bishop to h6 is the correct move, right? Because the king cannot escape to g7. Check, mate. Let's see, 197. We have those two rooks on the seventh rank. This is called in chess seventh rank. There is a strategy about rooks on seventh rank, and we are going to learn that strategy in intermediate level 2. So look, if you play with this rook, then it's going to be a checkmate. Right? Two rooks on the seventh rank are very dangerous. Let's see the next one. Immediately I see the pin. Right? The queen cannot move because bishop is pinning the queen. The rook goes to e8, checkmate. Let's see the next one. 199. Two more and we are finished. Look, we have rook on g7. Pawn protects that rook. That's very important. And we have this rook that is free to make a checkmate. Right? Now you have this pawn protecting the rook. That's important here. So checkmate. Let's go to the last one. Yeah, this one is easy. We have a queen on g4, bishop on d4. Those are the two pieces you need for a checkmate. Now, in some other situations, you may need the rooks. Rooks are very nicely lined up for attack. You also have a bishop on b1, right? Kind of controlling the space. So this puzzle we had before, right? So queen g7, checkmate. Bishop is protecting the queen, and that's a checkmate. Hey, kids, I hope you enjoyed studying with me. And I would suggest now to go back to the same study. It's 33E in NYChessKids account, and try to do it on your own. And of course, you can also do it on the paper, right? Print the PDF file from the NYChessKids website and do this study one more time. Thank you for learning with me, and thank you for learning checkmates in one, because now you are ready to learn checkmates in two. Bye bye.